and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. If you are new, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. You will not want to miss my future videos. Today's video is going to be a quick curriculum cost video. I live in a state where we do not get money back for what we spend on our curriculum, anything to do with homeschool. I know that in some states you can have a certain amount or you get reimbursed or whatever the situation is. That is not the case in Pennsylvania. So anything I spend my money on is just, that's it. It's our money that we are spending. If you do live in a state where they reimburse or however it works, and you would like to share that in the comments, I would love to know how that works because we don't have anything like that in Pennsylvania. I have not previously budgeted for our homeschool year. I've kind of looked at what we need and purchased to what we need, and sometimes I get a little bit of extra. I'm not going to be including the extracurricular stuff that my girls do. So any of the sports or activities, any of the memberships that we have to different places, I didn't include any of that in this. This is just the curriculum that we used and things that I added in to just add something to our curriculum. And as I said, I never budgeted before, so I went back and just looked at everything. I know there's gonna be little stuff missing, like a book I forgot to add in, or I know that there's a rainbow resource order that I did that I couldn't really find, and so that little bit of stuff is missing, but I did get the bulk of it. So let's start with the free stuff. So Torchlight, a level K, definitely not free, but I purchased it in kindergarten or for the kindergarten year, and I used it kindergarten and first grade. So when it came to using Torchlight in first grade, I didn't have to buy anything additional. I had already purchased that stuff in her kindergarten year. For math, we used Eureka Math, and that is a free curriculum, so that was no additional cost. We used Zern along with that, and that was also free. So both for my oldest, who was in first grade, and my youngest, who was doing preschool or pre-K, nothing was extra for that. And I was using Busy Toddler. I was using the Playing Preschool like on and off with my pre-Ker, but I had bought that way back when for my oldest. So again, that was no additional cost. The last free thing that I want to mention is Core Knowledge Language Arts. We used that. I didn't use it with my youngest. I didn't use their pre-K or preschool, whatever they call that. But I did use the first grade Core Knowledge Language Arts with my oldest, and again, that was free. All right, now let's get into the stuff that did cost money. Homeschool languages, I had purchased Homeschool Languages Spanish, which we really didn't use, but I'm going to try to be better this year because I do like it. It's just actually making the time for it. But that was $199 when I purchased it, which is not cheap, but again, I really do like it, and I think we're gonna have good use of it. I mentioned in a previous video, I wish I would have waited though, because they released a like newer updated one, and now I have the old one. For science, we used Sunlight Science, and all in, that cost $272. And I didn't even buy the books, so that was pretty pricey. I did get the experiment kit. That was another thing that I really didn't use, so for us, that wasn't worth it. For first grade, we used Pinwheels Year 2, and that was $139 when I purchased it. And we're actually still using a little bit of it. We'll be continuing into second grade, but that was the cost of that, and I'll be able to use it again with my youngest. So I do like the curriculum that I'm able to buy digitally, and then I can use it again. So all in all, on Teachers Pay Teachers, I spent about $29. So $21 of that was our art curriculum, our science and art curriculum that we used throughout the year. And then a lot of the stuff that I got on TPT was free. And then there was an additional amount that was a butterfly unit that we did, and then something, or not unit, but a butterfly activity we did, and then an activity for totem poles as well. Measured Mom Plus was something that I had also purchased, and I loved having it. I'm not doing it again this year, but I gained so much knowledge between the information in the emails, the information in the webinars, all of the different things that were available to use on the website. Like, I absolutely loved having the Measure Mom Plus. I think my phonics and literacy knowledge really grew through that. I also ended up purchasing her book. It was really good, but for that membership, I had paid $149. Now that's not curriculum specific, but since that was about my being able to educate my daughter the way I wanted to and being able to print out additional things for both girls, I figured that should probably be in here as curriculum. When I added up my thrift books orders, I was actually surprised. I did really well this last school year on thrift books. I only spent $80 on thrift books, which if I compared that to how much I spent for my daughter's kindergarten year, I know there would be a very big difference, but $80 on thrift books to me is pretty good. Now, it was really hard to go through and pull all of the books that I purchased on Amazon. There's just a lot of things to kind of like sift through and things that came up that weren't books but were related to my search, that kind of stuff. So I might be missing some things, but when I did add everything up, it looks like I spent about $167 on Amazon when it came to books. Now, I didn't search for like specific games and activities, those kinds of things that I sometimes use in our homeschool. That would have just taken way too much time. I just decided to keep it at books. So I know that number is actually a little higher with how much I probably spent on Amazon for our curriculum stuff. And then the last category is Rainbow Resources. That's another one where I'm pretty sure I did an order as a guest one time, and I don't know where that information is. So it shows that I spent $55 on like through things on Rainbow Resources, but I am pretty sure that that is probably higher. So again, this is just the stuff that I was able to basically look through my emails or look on a specific website and see. And this is not including additional activities or memberships to things that we utilized throughout the year. But the grand total for all of this was $1,090. Now, that is for both of my girls. I have two girls that I'm homeschooling, but it is mainly for my oldest. I didn't really spend very much for my youngest. This is mostly for first grade, what I ended up spending. All right, so my thoughts on this number. I honestly don't think it's too bad, but I do think that I spent less on this upcoming school year. I could be wrong though, so I don't know. I haven't added it up, but I will see. And obviously I'm gonna buy things as the school year goes on, and so I'll see at the end if I ended up doing better when it came to how much I spent. And also my youngest is going into kindergarten, so there's a little bit more there, but also she can use a lot from my oldest. I feel like I said so like 20 times, but I wasn't super surprised by the number. I feel like it was around what I thought it would be, but I do think going into this school year, I'm gonna start keeping track earlier so that I don't have to go through everything at the end and figure it out. I will probably just create a separate, what is it called? Sheets, like Google Sheets. I'll just create that and have that going so that I can just add things on as the school year goes. I know I have the budget page in my planner, but I do find it easier to just be able to copy and paste. Maybe someday I'll sit down and work through that, but I do like just being able to copy and paste right on my computer. That's gonna be it for this video though. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.